Merry meet and welcome to Thrilling Thursday here at Ariel's Corner. This is Ariel Gatoga and we are streaming live on YouTube and on Twitch. We're going to we're going to do lesson 3 of the Arbatel of Magic. This is 3 of 7. This is our third septenary today. And we are streaming live on YouTube and on Twitch. I just can't seem to get... Okay, there we go. Moderating today on YouTube is the lovely Heather, and moderating on Twitch is the lovely Deline. So thank you so much, Heather. Thank you so much, Deline. And thank you to everybody for joining us for today's lesson. Let's see, we are streaming live, so that means that we have chat threads open on each of those streams. If you have anything that you want to just chat about, please feel free. They are open for your enjoyment. If you have a question for me personally, you can put it right in that chat thread and I will get to it before the end of the stream. Just a couple little housekeeping things here, just as always. We have a magic stream every single day here on this channel at 10:15 a.m. Wednesday through Sunday. We're off on Mondays, and then we have a tarot class on Tuesday at 9:45 a.m. Those times are all Pacific Standard Time. If you would like to visit our shop, you can do that by going to arielscornershop.com. We make a small commission off of all the sales in that shop because those are all affiliate links. They're going to take you to either Amazon or Etsy. So that's a fun way to give us some support. Another way to support us is through a donation. You can do that by going to paypal.me/arielgatoga, paypal.me/arielgatoga, or if you're watching live on YouTube, you could use a super sticker or super chat if you feel like giving a donation on the platform. And if you're on a restream, you could do that by using a super thanks. We do appreciate your support, but we are just here for you today. We have all kinds of free stuff here at Ariel's Corner. In fact, all of it's free. And you can see the plethora of things we have for you on our website, ariels-corner.com. That's Ariel's Corner with a hyphen.com. Check it out and have fun. We have a Discord server, and we also have a Facebook group if you would like to be more actively a part of our community, either by getting the support that you need, offering some support, or just chatting and having a good time. So you can find how to get to those things. Those links are all in the footer of each page on my website, ariels-corner.com, Ariel's Corner with the hyphen.com. Now, if you have not yet registered for this course to get all your handouts and things, I would recommend that you do that. It's free. You just go to arielgatoga.com/Arbatel of Magic, all with little hyphens. So Arbatel, ARBATEL of Magic with hyphens. Okay, I think that's it on all of my little commercials here. So let's get going with our Arbatel lesson for the day. If you are in a place where it is appropriate, safe, and comfortable for you, please close your eyes and begin to take some nice, long, slow, deep, relaxing breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. With every inhale, feel more light and peace entering your body and your mind. With each exhale, feel like you're allowing yourself to let go of all tension from your body, along with anything that you do not want in your mind. Inhaling peace and light, and exhaling as you let go. We picture ourselves on top of a beautiful mountain in the center of a circular grove of trees. In the center of our circle, a bonfire blazes forth, lighting us and the grove up with a sacred golden light. We recognize that this is the light of perfect love and perfect trust, and it burns away everything that's not like itself, and that brings healing. Into this sacred space, we invoke the presence of our Creator. To many of us, our Creator reveals themselves to be a mother and father, a god and goddess. Also, we invite the presence of our angels, guides, teachers. We ask that they guide us as we walk upon the way to become happier, more loving, more peaceful, more prosperous, and more magical people. Thank you very much. Blessed be. We are on the third septenary of the Arbatel of Magic, and this is the one where we are going to learn a little bit more about the nuts and bolts of the Olympic spirits. Make sure that you have all of your lessons. Probably, I would put them in a notebook if you print them out. I have made sure that all of the pagination is correct so that you can easily find where you're supposed to be. Also, make sure that you print out or at least read the original Arbatel translation that I've included in your first lesson. So these handouts are my own translation from the Latin, the way that I understand them and the way that I work with them. And then in each one, I've included some of my comments as well. And those comments are my own. They're not part of the Arbatel. And I've tried to make it very clear where those comments are mine. So all of your handouts from me that aren't those original translations are my translation plus my comment. So you don't want to use those exclusively because you want to get it also straight from the first translation. Or if you know how to speak Latin, you can, or read Latin, you could also benefit from reading the original Latin text as well. Aphorism 15. The spirits known as the Olympics reside in the firmament and the stars. Their purpose is to determine fate and oversee the occurrences that happen by fate, with the agreement and permission of God. For those who seek refuge in the Most High, neither malevolent spirits nor unfortunate circumstances can harm him. Any Olympic spirits can teach or influence what is appropriate to their star, but something only can be accomplished with divine permission. It is God alone who enables them to achieve it. All things obey God, whether supercelestial, celestial, sublunary, or infernal. Therefore, strive for this. Let God lead you in everything you undertake, and everything will come to a happy and desired outcome. This is evident in the history of the world and daily experience. The pious find peace, but the Lord says there is no peace for the wicked. So fate means destiny, and destiny simply means destination. So the destinations that we want to desire are the ones that are approved by God. Why? Because God, or infinite intelligence, wants our happiness and knows how to bring us happy outcomes better than we do. So if we choose our own destinations for ourselves, we are very frequently plagued with problems. But if we allow infinite intelligence to choose the destination for us, then we are always happy. God's destinations are the only destinations that the spirits can lead us to. These Olympic spirits must obey infinite intelligence. Therefore, if we try to coerce these spirits to do something that is against God's will, we aren't going to have a very good time. So instead of dictating our desired destination to God, we should seek his guidance to determine the destinations that are meant for us. And that doesn't mean that we are going to have to give up our cherished dreams. That means that we're going to be able to embrace our cherished dreams, because our cherished dreams are put there by infinite intelligence. Aphorism 16. There are 7 governors or offices of the Olympians established by God to administer the entire universe. These governors, as mentioned in Olympic speech, are Aratron, Bethor, Phaleg, Och, Hagith, Ophiel, and Phul. Each of them commands a significant heavenly militia. Aratron, for example, controls 49 visible provinces. there are 196 Olympic provinces in the universe, each governed by 7 governors. This is all elaborately explained in the book Astronomy of Grace. However, in this context, we aim to demonstrate how these princes and powers can be engaged in conversation. So the book mentioned is probably one of those lost books thought to have been written by Paracelsus. There's no trace of it anywhere. So we just told you that Aratron controls 49 visible provinces. Bethor governs 42. Phaleg oversees 35. Ok manages 28. Hagith is responsible for 21. Ophiel oversees 14. And Ful manages 7. Aratron manifests on the Sabbath day, which is Saturday, during the first hour of that day. He provides accurate answers regarding his dominions and inhabitants. Similarly, the other spirits adhere to their assigned days and hours. Each one of these spirits governs for a period of 490 years. The first cycle began 60 years before Christ's birth under the prince Bethor's administration. This period, it lasted until the year 430. Phaleg succeeded him until the year 920, followed by Ok until 1410. Finally, Hagith reigned until 1900. So Ophiel is the governor of our current era until the year 2390. The seven govern. Aphorism 17. Aphorism 17. The 7 governing princes can only be summoned through the practice of magic. They appear visibly or invisibly during the specific time, day, and hour they preside. This is made possible by using the names and offices assigned to them by God and by displaying their confirmed sigils, also called characters in this booklet, or the ones they have provided. So, Aratron the governor possesses the innate ability to control things natural to him, aligning with the astronomical attributes assigned to the power of Saturn. Additionally, he holds the following abilities of his own accord: instantly transforming any object, plant, or animal into stone while maintaining the outward appearance, interchanging treasures and coals, transmuting into each other, bestowing familiars with specific powers, imparting knowledge of alchemy, magic, and medicine, establishing harmony between subterranean spirits and humankind, even granting individuals a hairier semblance, granting the power of invisibility, granting fertility to the infertile, and bestowing longevity. Aratron governs 49 kings, 42 princes, 35 presidents, 28 dukes, 21 ministers who stand before him. He possesses 14 familiars and 7 messengers. Furthermore, he commands 36,000 legions of spirits, each consisting of 490 entities. Bethor governs the things attributed to Jupiter. He quickly responds when summoned. Those who possess his qualities are elevated to high positions and gain access to abundant treasures. Let me say that again. Those who possess his qualities are elevated to high positions and gain access to abundant treasures. Bethor harmonizes the spirits of the air, enabling them to provide truthful answers. He facilitates the transportation of precious stones. Okay, please, I do not need a bunch of people calling me and criticizing me for having made mistakes. I will do as many takes as it takes, so just have some patience. I don't need to be criticized right now, but I appreciate your lovely emails. He facilitates the transportation of precious stones and enables medicines to work miraculously. Additionally, he grants familiars from the heavens and can extend life up to 700 years according to God's will. Bethor commands an impressive hierarchy consisting of 42 kings, 35 princes, 28 dukes, 21 counselors, 14 ministers, 7 messengers, and 29,000 legions of spirits. Phaleg governs the domains associated with Mars, the Prince of Peace. By possessing Phaleg's emblem, one's stature is elevated to significant distinctions in matters of warfare. Ok governs the celestial realm and bestows 600 years of vibrant health and boundless wisdom upon its followers. This illustrious deity imparts the most exquisite spirits and guides us to perfect remedies. With Ok's divine touch, all that is ordinary transforms into pure gold and precious gems. Those who bear the mark of his favor are worshipped as gods by kings worldwide. Ok commands a legion of 36,536 spirits, each diligently serving under his dominion. This incredible being rules with unparalleled authority, tending to all matters of existence. Hagith governs matters of desire and passion. When one embraces his essence, they become radiant, adorned with incomparable beauty. In an instant, he transforms copper into gold and gold into copper. He presents loyal spirits who dutifully serve their devoted recipients. He reigns over 4,000 legions of spirits, assigning kings to each 1,000 for their designated periods. Ophiel holds the position of governing over matters associated with Mercury. He commands an impressive legion of 100,000 spirits, readily granting familiar spirits to those who seek him. He possesses vast knowledge and is capable of teaching all arts. Furthermore, those privileged enough to bear his mark will gain the extraordinary ability to transmit quicksilver into the revered philosopher's stone instantly. Fool can transform metals into silver, both in words and actions. He governs lunar matters, heals dropsy, and bestows water spirits that serve mankind in visible form. Under his influence, humans can live up to 300 years. Just as a reminder, when you get your handout, you'll have all of the correspondences, you'll have all of the sigils, all of that. So you don't need to ask me to talk about that here. Those are all included. The following are the fundamental principles of this secret knowledge. Every governor, which are the Olympic spirits, so each of those 7 Olympic spirits are called governors. Every governor operates using their spirits either naturally in a consistent manner or freely, as long as God doesn't intervene. So just as a reminder, all help comes from God, but through God's spirits in this particular system. God is in complete charge of everything. Every governor can perform tasks that occur naturally over an extended period using prepared materials, or achieve them instantly using unprepared ones. For example, Ok, the Prince of Solar Matters, can create gold through natural processes, alchemical techniques, or by magical means. So sometimes your help will seem like it would have just happened anyway, but other times it seems miraculous and comes out of nowhere. One type of manifestation is not more potent than the other, however. So you don't necessarily need to ask for a miraculous manifestation. You allow those manifestations to happen as the spirits do them, because they are following infinite intelligence's will. The true and divine Magus can command all creatures of God and enlist the services of the world's governors. These governors obediently respond and carry orders, but only with God's authority, just as Joshua commanded the sun to stand still. In that particular part of the Bible, Joshua also works very potent weather magic. This is me speaking. Joshua also works potent weather magic in the same scene as what is being described here in the Bible. Let me say that again. Joshua also works potent weather magic in that same scene in the Bible. With average magi, the governors will send their spirits to obey within certain limits. However, false magi will not be heard and be exposed to the mocking demons and various dangers, as witnessed in Jeremiah chapter 8. So that means depending on the character of the person performing the magic, one will either have exemplary results, limited results, or disastrous results with their magic. And that all depends on you and how you're approaching it. You want to be an exemplary magus, not an evil one or an average one. And how you do that is by following the guidelines as set forth in these aphorisms from the very first lesson. The 7 governors and their hosts exist within all the elements, moving harmoniously with the motion of the celestial spheres. The lower elements always depend on the higher elements, as philosophy teaches. And at the end of this lesson, I will give a little bit more of an extended understanding of what they are alluding to there. True magicians are born with innate ability, while those who enter the field voluntarily are unfortunate. John the Baptist refers to this when he says, "No man can do anything of himself except it be given him from above." Regardless of the purpose, every character or sigil a spirit provides possesses its efficacy within the designated time. However, it must be utilized on the same day and planetary hour it is given. God and your soul are alive. Uphold your covenant, and through the revelations the Spirit grants, you shall obtain everything, for all the Spirit promises will be accomplished. Basically, they're saying here, do your part, and God will never fail to do God's part through those spirits. Aphorism 18. Other names are given to the Olympic spirits by others, but only the ones revealed by the spirit, whether visible or invisible, are effective. These names are predestined for each individual and are referred to as constellations. They usually have an effect for around 40 years. Hence, it is safe for the young art practitioners to work solely with the spirits without using their names. If they are destined to attain the art of magic, the other aspects of the art will naturally present themselves. Therefore, pray for steadfast faith. In due time, God will bring about all things. So they are alluding to the fact that the spirits of the Olympics also, in addition to the names provided in the text, have unique names, which really are best revealed directly by the spirit to the magician, and that doesn't usually happen right at first. That takes time and effort working with them. However, the names like the ones given in the text for the Olympics are always helpful, so you can just use those names for now. Temporary names that aren't those names they are cautioning are generally not useful beyond 140 years, so it's recommended for magicians to summon the functions of the spirits without relying on any old names that they might find in old grimoires, because they may no longer be valid. So either use the names of the spirits as given, or just call upon Olympic spirit of Jupiter, Olympic spirit of Venus, and don't use the names if you don't, for some reason, don't want to use the names given in this text. Don't use the other names for the Olympics. They are cautioning because those names may no longer be valid. And then one more thing about that, you will also over time, and it's saying over a long period of time, you will probably be given your own names to be working with those spirits that nobody else can use but you, and that will take time for those to manifest. Aphorism 19. The inhabitants of Olympus willingly appear as spirits to people, offering their services even against their will. If you desire their assistance, imagine how much more they will help you. However, be aware that evil and destructive forces may also approach, driven by the envy of the devil and attracted to the sins of wrongdoers. To establish a friendly relationship with the spirits, one must avoid serious sins, seek protection from the highest power, and thus avoid the traps and obstacles set by the devil. In fact, God can even bind the devil himself into service for such a magician. So all we have to do, it's saying here, to avoid the traps that our own ego sets for us to fail, is to desire to avoid falling into error, asking constantly for help and guidance from on high. And that spirits can even use our mistakes, quote, sins, to help us. Everything is under God's will. So as long as you are working first with infinite intelligence and constantly asking for guidance rather than making up your own mind all by yourself, you are destined to succeed. Also, another note about that magicians are born, not made. This is alluding to the fact that you wouldn't even be interested in this course if you weren't born a magician. So you don't have to worry about that. You're in the right place, doing the right thing if this is something that you are innately drawn to. Aphorism 20. All things are possible to those who believe and are open to receiving them. However, to the skeptical and unwilling, everything appears impossible. There is no more significant hindrance than a wavering mind, fickleness, inconsistency, foolishness, excessive talking, intoxication, lust, and disobedience to God's word. Therefore, magicians should be pious and upright, true to their words and actions, have unwavering faith in God, and desire wisdom in divine matters. So first and foremost, we must seek infinite intelligence. If we do and follow what we are directed and how we are directed to proceed, we will never fall into any of the distractions that are listed in this aphorism. And don't take this as sort of like a Catholic guilt lesson. It's just you don't want to be distracted from your work, from your magic, from your path. And those distractions, as they are listed in the aphorism, are just ways that your ego wants to delay your progress. And you're not going to do that. You're not going to allow yourself to do that, because you're going to remember to follow the path as set forth in these aphorisms. Aphorism 21. Calling the Olympic spirits. To call upon any Olympic spirits, observe the sunrise and consider the nature of the spirit you seek. Say the following prayer and your desires shall be fulfilled. So you also want to have that sigil or character drawn and ready to go when you're doing this. Then you say something to the effect of omnipotent and eternal God, who has ordained the entire creation to be praised and glorified, and for the salvation of mankind, I humbly request that you send forth your spirit, then you name the spirit, of the, then you name the planet, order. May they enlighten and instruct me in the things I ask of them, or may they bring me medicine for ailments. However, not my will, but yours be done, through Jesus Christ, your only begotten Son, our Lord. Amen. Remember to keep the spirit for no more than 1 hour, unless the spirit is familiarly connected to you. Since you have, then when you're done and it's time for them to part, you say, since you have come in peace, answering my requests peacefully, I thank God in whose name you have arrived. Now you may depart in peace to fulfill your orders. Return to me when I call upon you by your name, order, or office, which the Creator grants. Amen. Ecclesiastes chapter 5 advises, "Do not be quick to speak, and do not be hasty in your heart to utter a word before God. After all, God is in heaven, and you are on earth. So let your words be few. As a dream comes through many cares, so the speech of a fool comes with many words." So it's talking about their vain babbling in prayer or in magic is not productive, and neither is too much busy work. So earlier it was talking about all of the different legions and this and that. This is a Renaissance magical concept known as the Great Chain of Being. This is me talking, giving you context from the Arbatel. This concept is known as the Great Chain of Being, and it suggests that everything in the universe is interconnected, forming a complex hierarchy from the creator at the top to inert matter at the bottom. This worldview was inherited from ancient occult schools, and it categorizes each species or object as a separate link in the chain. Higher links possess greater intelligence, mobility, and ability than those lower down. The higher links exercise authority and responsibility over the lower ones. For example, plants have authority over minerals, drawing sustenance from them, while animals have authority over plants and minerals. Humans, in turn, dominate the natural world and have authority over plants, animals, and minerals. The position of each species on the great chain depends on the balance between spirit and matter within its composition. The more spirit and less heavy matter, the higher its position. Even within each category, some beings or objects are higher or lower than others. For instance, gold is considered the highest metal, whereas lead, containing less spirit and more matter, occupies a lower position. Alchemists aimed to transmute lead into gold by infusing it with more spirit, while philosophers sought to elevate their lower natures into spiritual attainment. This worldview emphasizes the interdependence of everything. It asserts that each human being is a microcosm reflecting the totality of the universe. Ancient scholars believed that matter consisted of 4 elements: air, fire, water, and earth, corresponding to the human body's 4 humors. These humors, linked to the seasons, must remain balanced for good health. Although the theory of the 4 humors has yet to be scientifically followed, we recognize the importance of maintaining a balanced lifestyle to stay healthy. The wise theory of the Great Chain of Being teaches us that the Creator continually creates diverse beings. This results in a universe filled with every imaginable kind of life. All species are linked through evolution, forming a ladder extending from the lowest existence to the Creator. Humans occupy a middle ground between nature and angels, connected to angels through understanding and affection, but liberated from attachment to the human world. But liberated from attachment to the material world. This chain also represents a ladder that all beings can climb through reincarnation, ascending from the lowest state to the highest. So I wanted to just give you a little bit of a rundown of the theory of the Great Chain of Being, because that's where a great deal of the Arbatel's magic rests, as was the case with a lot of definitely Renaissance magic, but even some of the medieval magic hearkened to that idea as well. So this is the end of the septenary number 3, and there's a lot going on here, so make sure that you take a look at the handout, familiarize yourself with these sigils and the different planetary intelligences from Olympus. Understand that in this particular system, the planetary day is the first hour of the day, so from sunrise for 1 full hour. In this particular system, that's when you work with the spirit. Now, at the end of this course, I will also share with you what my teacher in angel magic, who also is the one who first introduced me to the Arbatel, taught about how to use the planetary hours and the angels along with the Olympic spirits. But I'll do that after we complete the entire Arbatel, so I don't start to mix things up too quickly. All right, well, thank you so much for spending some time with me today, and we'll see you next week for the 4th septenary. Until then, blessed be. Okay, let's see if we have any questions. Ariel, I wonder if the name thing is why some people get bad experiences with certain spirits. Possibly. According to the authors and the magi who are responsible for this system, you want to use their names. They're very clear about that. Use these names or the names that the spirit gives you. But those other names that you find with the spirits, leave those alone because those are probably no longer valid. So you can take that with a grain of salt or you can follow it. I tend to follow it. I feel comfortable following that one, but that's up to you. Oh, what does it mean if the spirit is familiarly connected to you? That means that that's your spirit guide. Remember at the very first lesson, I think it was, you were given a prayer to call upon your guide. And so Infinite Intelligence already gave you a guardian angel or a spirit guide. And that's always been there with you, and it always will be there with you. But when you asked for it, that was actually you being conscious of it. So you don't have to, when you call in your spirit guide, you don't have to say, oh, but only an hour. And you don't have to do it on sunrise, of a particular day. You can call on your guide anytime, day or night, because Infinite Intelligence already assigned that spirit to you to protect you, to guide you, and to give you all the best information so that you can live your best life and you can do the very best thing that you can do within the realms of magic, within the realms of everything. So you can ask that inner guidance about anything, and if you think about that temperance card in the tarot, it knows everything specific to you. That spirit guide that Infinite Intelligence has given you knows everything that you need. That's so unique for you. Wouldn't work for anybody but you. So, and you don't have to have any specific ritual to contact that guide. You don't have to have a specific day. You don't have to say, okay, only an hour, and then you have to leave. You and that guide are constantly available to be with one another. And that's familiar. That's your, quote, familiar spirit. And you only have one. You only need one. And that's the one that Infinite Intelligence gave you. The spirit guide is, that is the synonymous with the Holy Guardian Angel. The problem with the Holy Guardian Angel concept is it's gotten so intellectualized over the years because of those ancient grimoires, such as Arbatel, that people have turned it into something almost scary. It's not scary at all, and it's not really even. It's special to you. It's unique to you, but everybody's got one. It's just that very few people know how to contact it and use it. But it really only takes your willingness. It doesn't take a special ritual. It really doesn't take a special ritual. Some special rituals that might help to wake you up are great. And so if you want to do that Arbatel ritual that really takes a long time and is very arduous, you can, but it's not necessary to gain access or awaken to your Holy Guardian Angel. That Holy Guardian Angel is there for you because Infinite Intelligence gave it to you. And it wouldn't make sense, would it? That angel's there for you, always going to protect you, always going to guide you, always going to help you. But Infinite Intelligence doesn't want you to find it unless you go through some kind of weird thing. And hopefully you find that weird thing in this lifetime. That doesn't make sense at all, does it? So you can use those rituals, and there's nothing wrong with using those rituals if they help you to really focus your mind. But the only ritual you need is a prayer and to ask, and then to work with that guide each and every day. And you do that through silence and meditation. You don't, the question is, do I ask or command my spirit guides? You don't have to command anything. They're not the kind of daemon that people think of with Goetia. They are Olympic spirits. They're a bit above you on the chain of command, right? They're a little bit above you on that great chain of being. They're just below the angels and just above you. And they know They basically work for the angels. They work for your teaching angels is a great way of looking at that. And they govern tons and tons and tons of spirits. So all the commanding of spirits is done by them in this particular system. You don't have to command those other spirits. Now, if you're supposed to, you will be taught, you will be guided, and that will be down the road. That won't be right away. That'll be down the road if there's something special that you have to do. This system is very open-ended in that regard. There may be ways and things that you have to do that aren't spelled out in this system that your guide and these Olympic spirits help you with, just like with your angels and angel magic that are different than what's in the material. So that there's always a possibility, but you're not supposed to worship these spirits, but at the same time, you must be very respectful and understand that they know more than you do. So to command them is not polite. So I wouldn't do that. I would request that they help you. Now, in the text, it talks in a somewhat commanding tone, but it's really just acknowledging what's happened and that it's time for them to go and that you're letting them go. So God has, according to this particular system, has granted the magician the ability, if they know the name and the office of the spirit and they have their sigil, has granted them the ability to call them forth. So you're calling a meeting with somebody who's maybe a bit more knowledgeable or wiser than you're, a lot more knowledgeable and wise than you are. And you're there for that meeting to either learn something or to ask for help with something. And then when the meeting's done, you get to close it because you open the meeting. You're sort of like the facilitator of the meeting, and that's up to you to do that. In that way, yes, you're commanding now. Okay, we're done now. We're closed. So, but at the same time, you need to be very respectful, and you're not going to treat them like you're not putting them in a triangle. You're not threatening them. None of that stuff. This is very respectful. These are messengers of infinite intelligence. Let's see, what did I miss? Do I ask my spirit guides or do I command my spirit guides? Okay, I already said that. Now, your guide, your holy guardian angel or your guide is you can call that your familiar spirit. That's the one you call to yourself in that very first lesson. But I just want to make sure that you understand this, that you're really just acknowledging or having a formal introduction to the same being that's been with you since the beginning. There's always been there and always will be there. You're never going to not be with this help. Okay, and then these Olympic spirits represent the powers of the 7 planets of old, plus all of the spirits that they control. Now, there are also teaching angels that we work with in basic angel magic who actually govern the Olympic spirits, but we're not dealing with them here. We will talk about how you can incorporate those two systems very seamlessly after we've finished with all of the Arbatel. Hopefully, I've made myself some sense there, and I hope you're enjoying this work. And so make sure that I'll get all those handouts for you up tomorrow. Make sure you read all the handouts, and then you can start working with these spirits right away. And you do that at sunrise on the appropriate days, and all of that will be listed for you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I so appreciate you, and I will see you hopefully tomorrow for a Witch's Rosary. We'll definitely be here next week for Septenary number 4, and then tomorrow we have the Rosary, Saturday we have a Psalm, and Sunday we have a lecture. So hang out with us some more. We love you. Okay, we'll talk to you soon, and thank you so much to the amazing moderators. Today we had the lovely Heather and the lovely Delene, and we'll see you all soon. Blessed be.